Okay, Virgo, this is going to be your reading for spirituality for the month into April here, the spring of 2025. So we'll get into the cards here. The first card that we have for you, Virgo, is Destiny card. 15, 16. This is in your past position, so I feel like you understand somewhat better what your destiny is and your trajectory in this way. I feel like destiny doesn't really go away. It's not something that happens and then leaves. It's something that follows you. So I feel like we're in a greater understanding of what our destiny is here on Earth. So that's an interesting way to look at things. But I feel from the Virgo side of things, they understand more where they are destined in life here and how they understand better. Yeah. That's our past. So in the present, where are we here? We have the 6 of water. Nice. I feel like that destiny thing was a big stress. I feel like I don't know, until we come across it, I feel like we were in it and we didn't know we were in it. And we maybe needed approval. I feel like somebody was stressing about what's my destiny? Have I hit it yet? Am I on the right track? Does somebody line me up? Do I have, they need cheerleaders in their court saying something, is the sense. And I feel like somehow, some way, they got either synchronistic events or they just kind of got grounded in the idea, yeah, I know what my destiny is, and I know I'm a part of it now. I understand where I fit here in the greater scheme of things, and that really solidified somebody. It was able to release some built up tension is what I get, because it's almost like we felt like we were doing the wrong thing and we needed like a nudge to say, no, you're on the right track. You're going in the right way. It's all good. This kind of thing. And they're like, oh, okay, good. Because I was so worried I was going the wrong way. This kind of thing is what I'm getting. So somewhere here we've chilled, we've relaxed on that, and we've got grounded with the fact, yeah, we're going in the right way, we're doing the right thing, and this is all great and groovy. Now, as we go into the present, the 6 of water, that's always about giving of the heart from compassion. And, well, that would be everybody's destiny on earth. Some people, if they choose to accept it, will do this, and some people don't. It's like that. So I feel like now that we can rest on the fact that we're going in the right way, things are the way they should be. Now we're ready. I think universally they're kind of winking like, yeah, we're ready. We may not think we're ready, but we're ready. And you know what? We are going outward to other people in a loving way. It doesn't necessarily have to be the partner. It can be people, friends, family. We are going out and giving of our heart in that way. And I feel like for the Virgo, that's where it is. We're being quite, what's the word? Diplomatic in giving our love outward. I feel like there's a part of us that does want a partner, but I feel like there's a greater part of us that is just enjoying life and relationships and friendships at this time. And I feel like we're actually giving of our heart more than we have in our whole lifetime, and not even realizing that it's just naturally going. If we actually stop and think, wait a minute, then we might rein it in. They're like, no, we don't rein in the love. We send that outward. If we got it and we got enough for ourselves, we can overflow. And that's the sense. I feel like the Virgos, they might be on the side of actually having lots of love of self, just unsure of all of it, right? And that going outward in love and compassion is never a bad thing. I feel here it's more in the friendship circles than anything. But again, the universe is going, it's okay, don't stress on that, because if they're going to rein it in, if they think they're going to, that's like, we don't want them to rein it in. We want to keep this going. And in fact, that will bring in our partner quicker. But don't tell them about that either, because they might avoid it if they knew it was coming. This kind of thing. So it's kind of like a private joke between the universe and you, where they're seeing you and proud of you for going outward toward others in a loving manner. And this is helping us get to where we need to be. no matter what we intellectually think about the scenario. Okay, as we move forward, as we go into the future, the Gaia card we get there is the King of Fire. Wow. Not your element, but someone who's very confident and very eager to go out and meet people and communicate and whatnot. I feel like we're taking action where we need to. I feel like we're being perceived with greater fervor than we may have in the past. That's something that I think might slip by our radar. We kind of don't care how we're being perceived, but the sense is we've reined in on some power plays here. I feel like if we're trying to go outward powerfully, I think we're, how do you say rein in? That's the only word I can use. We're doing it in a more smooth and graceful way than we have in the past. It was more obvious and more offensive. Now we're being more, I don't know if our social circles are becoming larger and we're just getting more social skills and therefore seeing what works and what doesn't work, or, again, taking our instinct into account. The fire energy does so highly. They will scan the room and go, okay, who's my crowd and how do I got to act? And then they adjust. So very much. And the fire too can be someone who not only in their confidence, but will do for others. Usually it's so that he gets what he wants, but it's all in the greater scheme of getting along. So it's all okay. This kind of thing. King of Fire. Yeah. Very powerful element there. Again, out of our element of earth. It is very far out of our element. So feeling charged at this time to take a lot of action where we normally would probably not take as much. I feel like this is on the job front, but it's hectic, it's speedy, but it's all going really smoothly. So it's not a problem. It doesn't seem as much pressure. Like it doesn't seem as something that would put as much pressure on us if we knew. How would I say? A lot of mind games here that the universe has to play with this Virgo, because they kind of think themselves out of things. And because they're an earth sign, they have a tendency to hold back. And they're so out of their element right now, and it's going so well. And they're kind of going, yeah, wow, I got all this accomplished and it didn't even feel like I had to work at it. And the Virgo's not used to that energy. They're used to having to fight and strive and for things. And so that tells me that you're in the flow, man. You're in the flow. And I am getting a masculine energy here, King of Fire. Someone who, and they're not afraid to open the heart, which is good. You need that. Because if you lose the heart, then you lose the validity of it all and it crumbles. So the heart is there, the destiny, you're in your destiny, so you're not off path in any way, shape, or form. You're giving outward flow to others, which is awesome and good. And the King of Fire, well, that's him just standing there confidently accomplishing shit along the way. It's like the flow is so into you that we're accomplishing so much stuff that it doesn't even feel like work. This is what I'm trying to say. Hard to spit out, but it's there. Okay, next roll. Yeah, this is good. Good Virgo energy. Okay. Chakra card on top of the Destiny card here, which we are full in flow of. We have the Magician. Yeah. Wow. That means, again, we have all the elements we need to get where we want to go. And we are in the flow universally. There's the Virgo going down his lane, doing what he should do. So it's all good. The Magician, there's the wand, right? It's the first action that can be taken in the journey of the Fool, right? The Fool, he steps out. And then what does he do? He starts to take action in whatever way he wants to. And I feel like we finally hit a flow here where we're doing something we like. I do feel like this is more job orientated or something like, again, it's part of our destiny. We don't mind it. It's good. It's easy and almost too easy where the Virgo's going, should I be doing more? Like, should I be? Should I feel like I'm stressed out? Like I'm not stressed out. Take it easy because this is where you're supposed to be. This is the thing. It's where you're supposed to be. And the Virgo's kind of feeling guilty because they feel like they should be doing more or struggling more or something. And they're like, nope, This is it. This is just being in flow. So we're happy with what we're doing. We're happy with the people and communications we have around us. That's flowing well and easy. We're able to give of our heart to these people as well. It's all good. And yeah, so the first step here that we have on our destiny is accepting that wand of action, that creativity to go forward in whatever way we choose. Let's see what happens when we go on the giving of the heart energy. We get the 5 of cups. Well, we're staying with the blue, or the 6 of water. There's a woman giving outward is a heart. It's a physical heart. So, caring. Then we have the element of cups again, talking about, yeah, this is disappointment. And here, the sense is that I'm hiding from love, okay? So this might be more on a personal level rather than friendship circles, talking about like inner intimate connections. I'm having a hard time spitting that out. We may have been disappointed in love or disappointed. It's like we're forced. The energy they're giving me that I can't put into words is we have a negative mindset about love and intimacy, and therefore are creating it outward, and that's something we may not realize, so look into that. But beyond that, there's a sense of hiding from love because of this negative mindset of it. It's like, yeah, it's not going to do me any good anyway, blah, blah, blah. And I'm having fun with my friends and everything's going good. I don't need nothing else. Blah, blah, blah. This kind of thing. I feel like the universal energy is preparing you to flow outward. And I think the right thing will come at the right time. I feel our negative mindset could get in the way of that connection, the right connection coming in. But nonetheless, I don't know how much convincing they will need once they come across it. Meaning, when you meet that someone and they say, oh, when you know, you'll know, right? When you know, it's the one, you feel it. All of this is going to come upon them anyway. So I feel like they're doing the right things. They're not stopping themselves from being social. And it may be in a social setting that you come across, and They might have a bit of a business friendship line that they dial here in. But I don't know, that maybe it's too far down the road, but I don't see a problem getting over that. Now let's go into the King of Fire in the future and see what chakra card pulls there as the Ace of Swords. We are a high seeker of truth here. That's what means most to us in our job. That's how we take action. We're going from what we see as the truth, and we're following that line. Again, we're very much in alignment with the universal flow. And as we do so, we're just worried about finding truth is what I see here. And we may not have had, I'm deducting, okay, this is not guidance, but it's deducting from what I feel here in the emotional center. We may not have had a lot of truth when it comes to friendships, or not to friendships, to relationships, personal relationships. We may have we ourselves were pretending to be someone else to these people and knew that they weren't for us, but we just were there anyway. Or at this point, we don't see a lot of truth coming toward us from possible partnerships that we deem, and therefore we just kind of set it aside because it's last on our list. We're really in the flow of things with our purpose and our destiny and whatnot, and we're feeling very powerful in that. But there will come a time where someone will walk through your door that will be a little bit different. Okay, I'll just warn you of that. And again, they're kind of scrunching their nose up, but I don't know. There's something here about the love zone. Okay, so as we go back to the Magician and we get into the geometry cards, what do we get on top of there? Ooh, wow. Metatron's cube. Woo. So let's just back this up, shall we? We got the Destiny card, which is all that you are meant to be on this earth. It's hitting you. You know what it is. You're accepting it, and you feel great in that. Then we have the Magician, which means not only do we feel great, but we have all the tools we need to get through to the next level. And anything that we don't have, we have more than enough stamina to dig and search for and gain on our own. And the Metatron's cube is that spiritual strength that keeps you in power no matter what. The positive flow is there. Little hang up in the relationship department, but that's just a mental thing. So as long as we go in the mental place, and you know what I feel when that person comes, the energy will just switch. That's what I feel. I feel like that person is going to walk in our door and then suddenly there'll be twinkle in our eyes like, hey, how's it going? Da, da, da. You just will drop, because we have no problem with friendship cycles and all this. Yeah, a lot of people are stretching their wings in the heart center and the friendship circles, which is what you need to do. And then going outward. Wow, Metatron's cute. That's a lot of power. That's the power of the universe. That's all the... How would you say? That's all the superchargers they can give you. It's right there. Metatron's cube is the most powerful. That's using all your DNA, all your junk. It's all utilized. And so that could be like intuitive nudges. You may be getting more psionic gifts in this way, psychic gifts. Yeah. And they're all there to help you, and you are in alignment with it. So there's not a place here. All the dominoes are making a huge block. There's nothing that's wrong here, except for the romance. But anyway, that's not here yet. So as we move into the present, which is where we're giving our love so freely, we might be avoiding or playing coy to those that we may see in a more romantic way. The geometry card we get there is a complex hexagon. And then it's kind of like the web, right? And this is a good web. This is a web you want to get caught up in, the love web, right? As long as it's valid and it's the right frequency. And if we've learned to recognize someone of a higher frequency or of the same frequency, and we've had no problems, then this should go swimmingly. Because it'll just merge, and then we'll just go forward with that person. And we may be someone who has to have this person as a friend for an extreme long time before we can even think of them as a partner. And that's not it's not a bad thing. It's all in the flow. We might even hide ourselves a little bit from that which we admire, is what they're saying. That which we admire. There's someone we admire, kind of hiding ourselves. It may be in our present right now, or we may be just being introduced, or will be in the very near future introduced to this person, where we're kind of holding ourselves back. But I feel it's healthy. It's just because of what we've been through, and this person will prove they'll earn their stripes, and there will be no problems here if it's the right one, right? Now, the future, King of Fire. Again, it's all about the truth. We're going forward, taking action in areas where we see truthful and in guidance with universal flow as well. And we have the complex square, a lot of complex cards coming out in these readings. I feel like, and I do feel this is job or things that we do. We suss out, we have a instinctive nature to investigate things. And that investigation is going to lead us. Nothing's going to be a straight line, and it's not going to be smooth all the way through. And we are quite conditioned to that kind of flow. And we're going with that kind of flow as part of our destiny and as part of our future way. So up until now, things have gone back and forth. I get a variance of energy. It's not like today things I'm dealing with are all going smooth. It may not all go smooth, but we are, again, fully prepared for any problem that arises. So much to the degree that we don't even really stress. Again, we're learning to deal with stress differently because we are so prepared. We're over-prepared. And it's to the point where we're lowering our stress levels, and it's making us more healthy. This kind of thing. It's all really good, Virgo. This is stuff. We're way out of our element in fire and air and water. There's a lot of water here, good and bad, right? We have good emotions and bad emotions, but we're going outward in the good emotions to people that matter, and we're staying inward in people that we don't know yet, or we don't understand if they do this kind of thing. This is not a bad thing in that way. I feel like it'll continue to go in the future the way it has gone, and we will continue to be even more prepared because each bump, each speed bump that we hit, we just know what's going to be bouncing in the trunk. We know what we have to deal with. It's like a routine. But again, be careful. We don't want to be on autopilot. They're going, this can never be autopilot because it's always a different flow. But there's, because they're showing me a car with square wheels. It's not going to be a smooth ride. But if we know it's not going to be a smooth ride, we prepare and away you go. You continue. It doesn't harbor any blockages or anything. This is kind of what I'm getting, because you can try and block me, but I'm going to learn and get the information I need to unblock, and then therefore better prepared in the future. And it's like you can't trap this Virgo. We're just going. So this is kind of what I'm getting. Interesting. Yeah, I think it was the last one I had was kind of out there, man. There was a different energy infiltrating this reading, but this is not the same. This is kind of the energy I was picking on up on before. So it's all good. It's all good. You're in your destiny. You're in your flow. You know this, and you feel it more grounded, and that's all you can do is just keep going forward. There is a partner coming in. I don't know the timing. Not getting. All I do feel though is that the Virgo, once they open that field, it will allow it to come in. And they don't foresee you really opening that field up. But when the universe decides the timing's right, they're going to throw it in the mix. Just beware of that. And that could be within the year. Okay? So as we go forward to the Isis card, what do we get? Brother in darkness, overcoming negative energy with feminine power. Would you please? This is interesting. Because when I get a negativity toward a partner, I get a masculine energy, not wanting to dip into feminine. They want to, but they don't want to. They don't want the trouble because they've had trouble in the past and they haven't quite, like there's a block there because we haven't healed from it, or we haven't let ourselves feel from it, or we don't understand. It may be just a thing of not understanding why these people would react, or why we didn't see, or why they didn't see, or whatever. I don't know exactly the parameters there, but I know that there will be a point here where, because they're going, it can get quite dark when we deal with the opposite sex, is what they're saying. So whether you're a man or a woman, you may have a hard time combining with the right partner. Expectations, something about expectations here. They may be too high, but again, the sense I get is that it all stems from not healing past wounds of being with partners that, and again, if we sit down and we actually digest this, I feel like the masculine that I'm getting here, one, he's not going to sit down and think about this because it's not his priority, okay? But two, if he does sit down and think about it, he can't get his ego out of the way, is the sense I get. There's an ego here that is just like, ugh, I can't. And that may be what needs to be healed. Now, the ego sense, if that is part that needs to be healed, you will be dealing with this in your social circles as well. And if you can put your ego in the trunk enough to get through on the business level with someone and not have, not go head to head, then you also have the power to do that in your personal life. But we're just not utilizing it. We're just staying away from it completely because we don't want to mess things. We're in a good flow. We don't want to mess things up. This is kind of what I'm getting. Now, if you're feminine, give me a minute. I feel like we may have been single for a while. Again, putting ourselves in this way. But I feel the yearning is higher in the feminine than in the masculine. Masculine's kind of keeping himself really busy, and he's got a good flow in other areas that he's kind of not missing it yet. Until the universe decides, right? Not missing it yet, not yearning for it. But the feminine is yearning, but it's a fear of getting into a relationship. So we might have had, again, we have some healing there. We might have had some violence in our past, or to a degree where it's not worth going in. And the Virgo has a higher level of wanting to join with people, but they're just, at this time, they want to keep their peace is more, and that's okay. They want to keep their peace more than they want to be in a relationship, no matter. Because I feel like the Virgo female, she does have some boundaries. And she likes to ease into things, but she also can be quite confrontational. And she's just not wanting to be confrontational at all. She's not wanting to set out the boundaries, like we're not wanting to do this at this time. There will come a time where that energy will shift, and and then we'll reassess then. But for now, that female, yeah, she's just wanting to keep her peace, and she's feeling great and wonderful in it. So she's really on the recharge. The masculine is on discharge, good energy. It's all business, but we're in the flow. So it's all good. Virgo, that is your reading for the spring of 2025. Wow. Okay. Take care, have fun, and be kind.